Hey guys, welcome back. Emperor Takashi here with more Crimson Gray, Dusk, and Dawn. Now, if you remember on the last video, we made a choice that we did not intend. Or I, rather. I don't know why I'm speaking in third person. We. I am plural, obviously. But anyhow, we're going to be quietly supportive because this is not talking about John's issues, this is talking about Lizzie's issue, which, well, John's depressed is obviously not the best call, so I'm going to be quietly supportive. Lizzie decided that it was her turn to carry him. She doted on him for the rest of the evening, getting everything he needed, eating with him when he got hungry, and staying close. When they finally went to sleep, she held him gently, glad to see some of the tension finally easing from his face. He actually fell asleep beside her, in a way that he hadn't in some time. Once she was asleep, Lizzie let herself stare at him, without trying to hide anything in her gaze, drinking him in. This was her John. She had to protect him. As she fell asleep, Lizzie settled on another thought. This visit might be a good thing, but she would be very glad when it was over. So that part remains the same there, but the much better result this time. Again, when I said communication was a good thing, I meant communicating for the person who's struggling at that time. Of course, Lizzie has her issues there, but for the most part, the issues Lizzie was talking about there were the same kind of paranoia and things like that. But I actually think this was helpful for Lizzie as well, because as we saw before, she wants to, part of her insecurity was that she's not there enough for John, at least she felt that way. So this gave her that sense of being there for John and supporting him, which I think will help with her mental state as well. When the day finally came, it wasn't as grand as all the build-up had led Lizzie to expect. It was just another speaker coming to campus. After all, and as one of the better universities in the region, they got plenty of speakers. The growing power of the pharmaceuticals was a somewhat hot topic, but it was hardly a source of celebrity. Her expectations had been tempered by John's attitude, though Aaron and some of the other organizers were exhilarated, as if a visit from a guest speaker would change everything, but as usual, he was more reserved. It was one of the things that made his love for her so special, and she loved it as part of him. The low-key nature of the entire thing did a lot to calm her anxiety, though Lizzie had filled many pages of her notebook with plans in the event of an attack. But given that this was one stop on a long speaking tour, it seemed less likely that Koitek would actually try anything. They were headed out to attend soon, and though it was going to be as casual as most events on campus, Lizzie had dressed up a little out of habit. She lingered by the cabinet, trying to select which weapons to take along with her. It's so funny to think about that, because it's I'm thinking about it because weapons are banned on college campuses, but I'm trying to think. I don't actually think I remember there being any metal detectors or actually anything to actually enforce it on campus. I guess the only way would be if you were actually caught with it. I'm trying to think. Maybe there were and I just didn't see them, but yeah, I don't remember there being any security at all. You don't need an ID to get in or anything, so I guess you really could probably, if you were like Lizzie and you want to walk around and do it, don't do it. I'm not encouraging you to. Don't do it. But I guess if you wanted to, you could. In theory. Oh man, yeah. Because even high schools, they're supposed to be all secure and stuff like that. Because the doors are locked and all that stuff now, and yes, it's a little more secure. But really, most of the stuff around here, I see that's defenses are fences. I'm like. And plus the students don't get stopped. It's the students don't get searched or anything. So if a student brings in a gun or a knife or a bomb, it's there's nothing actually to do that. If we want to actually Yeah, okay. I might be bordering on political at this point. Let's not. Uh, let's not. All right, back to where we were. But anyhow, the point is, yeah, Lizzie probably could do this. This probably isn't actually too far in reality. Um, the problem was that she had room for so few. Her axe, of course, but the knives were always a problem. Ready to go, Lizzie? Almost, John. Just let me pick a knife and I'll be with you. He leaned against the nearby wall, watching her thoughtfully as she chose. After a moment, he spoke slowly. I'm just wondering, would you be happy if Kelsey managed to destroy Koitek somehow? Of course, it's a terrible company. It gave you that awful drug and it tried to take us apart. But she isn't going to destroy it, just regulate it. Maybe things will get better, but I want revenge. I meant destroy in a metaphorical sense, dismantling this corporation. You're more thinking leveling it to the ground? Blood and flames! Oh, good old Lizzie. Yes. Yes, she would, wouldn't she? Lizzie answered happily and finally picked a slender knife, a good balance of range. Heavy enough to be durable, but thin enough to augment her axe with stabbing potential. She set it into its place and turned to him. You know, I'm wondering, where is she hiding an axe? Like, unless she's wearing very loose clothing, like, wouldn't the axe, like, make a print on her, like let's say she's wearing it on her back, wouldn't it make a print? I guess it's like, I think there was a picture of her having, like a holster. I don't know if it's called a holster for a knife, like a sheath maybe? What, I don't know, what's the term for it? But anyhow, like a holster sheath type thing on her leg. And I guess if you're wearing a skirt, that would hide it, but then if there's a wind, it would be clearly seen. Yeah, I don't know, like knives, yeah, you can hide knives for days. But an axe? I mean, maybe it's a small... Maybe I'm overthinking this, guys, but I don't know, it just seems a little much. But I don't mind things like this. Anything that works against them is good. And though I don't want you to hurt yourself, I'm happy that you care about this so much. But there was some way to leave them intact, but ensure they never bothered us again. Oh, sorry. But if there was... Yes, I'm not really reading the whole thing, but you guys get it. I take it, of course. You're the most important thing. She leaned forward to give him a kiss, letting this one linger. It might be their last until the serious event was over, so she wanted to enjoy it. Not that she minded waiting. It made the next kiss, when they came together, again all the sweeter. I just... wanted to say that you're the most important thing to me, too. Sorry if I seem preoccupied by all this. No, it's fine. I like to see you focused on things you love. Well, I don't take you for granted. I hope I never do. Aw, John, if you keep talking like that, we won't make it to the event. He chuckled and offered her his arm, which she gladly accepted. They headed out to the hall to hear the speech. They arrived and found the hall surprisingly full. Almost enough to make her wish they'd arrived earlier, but it would be fine. Aaron waved to them from near the front, but those seats were already full, so they took ones near the back. It's good to see our work wasn't wasted, and at least lots of people seem interested. Lots of people from the community, too. Doesn't surprise me. Koitek may not have any direct presence here, but they manufacture so many drugs, people have to know about them. Lizzie reached out to hold his hand while they waited for things to get started. He took it and chatted casually with her until it was finally time. After some awkward testing at the mic and a squeal of feedback, the dean managed to quiet people down, though he gave an introduction to Francesca, Kelsey, Lizzie wasn't able to focus on it. She already knew the information, and it was essentially just a formality anyway. More importantly, Lizzie looked for the woman herself and found her seated near the front. She looked like her pictures. Nothing out of the ordinary, but Lizzie shifted her gaze between her and the exits, just to be sure. When Francesca Kelsey took the stage, Lizzie surreptitiously. Alright. So I was like looking that word. I'm like, alright, let me see. What is this? Ah, yes. Surreptitiously shot a glance at John, but she had been wrong to worry. He had shifted to his purely focused mode, interested only in what she had to say. Alright, so that's where the speech begins. So I'm going to end the episode here. I know it's a little shorter than the normal episode, but like I said, let's just try to make sure it's, at least like a decent length, not too short. And I want to try to make them a little less length-focused and more so point-focused, that makes sense. Like, hey, let's reach this point. Let's reach that point. Now, of course, I'm not just going to make it 5 minutes long. That'd be... I don't know, that just seems too short. So I'm going to try to, make them a certain length. And we'll just be going from there. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh yeah, I might do that thing all the big YouTubers do. If you enjoyed it, you got to this point, I think that means you probably enjoy the content. Do subscribe. If you can, drop a like. I really appreciate that. And again, if you have anything you want to see, anything you want me to do on the channel, comment, or if you just found something interesting that you want to talk about, comment, either way. Anyhow, guys, much love, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.